So you just got your real estate license and now you're wondering, where should you hang it? What brokerage should you join? And I want to help you make this decision with intention and not with emotion. I'm Amanda Fazalani, co-founder of Design for Agents, where we help real estate professionals grow their business through marketing templates, tools, and education. Now, when you're trying to think of what brokerage to join, it can really boil down to three main factors, which we're going to cover in this video. We're also going to talk about things that you should be asking the broker or whoever it is that you're interviewing with, right? If you're considering joining a team at that brokerage and you're going to interview directly with that person, I'm going to cover some questions that you might want to ask them. And we're also going to cover the three types of brokerages that you're going to want to look into and how that plays into how it'll affect your actual real estate business. So let's dive in. Your brokerage choice matters more than you might think. A lot of new agents wind up joining a brokerage and oftentimes wind up switching within 6 months. And that has a lot to do with not taking some key things into consideration. So first, I want to let you know that your brokerage choice shouldn't be an emotional one. And I know that for some of us, emotion plays a strong part, especially as business owners. It can be hard to kind of compartmentalize that. But when you're making this decision, I want you to really avoid making it based on a certain person that your friends or family with are part of that brokerage, or you've seen all these sweet promises online about what that brokerage can do for you. And so that's why you want to join, because it makes you feel all, magical inside, like you're going to have the best year ever. Because it's a lot deeper than that. And there are some key things that we need to look at. So let's dive into what those key things are. There are three types of brokerages out there. There is split heavy, there is support heavy, and then there is the hybrid. Now, you might hear people break these down in different ways, but the key thing to note here is that you have to take these things into consideration. Are you joining the brokerage because they're giving you a 100% split and you're only paying $250 or $500 per transaction? That sounds really great money-wise, right? But most of the brokerages set up that way do not include any kind of support. And when I say support, I don't just mean transaction coordination. I mean like when you have questions, because as a brand new real estate agent, you are going to have a lot of questions. Most of those questions will hit you at 3 o'clock in the morning or at 7 a.m. when you receive a text message from a potential client or current client who is asking you something that you don't know how to answer. That's just how the cookie crumbles. So if you are a brand new agent, I actually don't recommend that type of brokerage, but hear me out. It depends, right? It really depends on what it is that you want and need, but that is a type that exists. The second type that I mentioned is a support heavy brokerage. Now, these are the brokerages or even teams, right, that you can join a team who's support heavy and they're at a brokerage that maybe is split oriented, right? So support heavy is that they are essentially going to hold your hand, right? But this typically comes at a price, right? Someone has to spend their hours giving you support, answering those questions, right? And so that support typically comes in the cost of your split. So oftentimes you'll see 60-40, 70-30 type of splits. If you're on teams, it could even be as far as 50-50. I've seen 40-60, where 60% is going to the brokerage and 40% is going to you, right? It all depends on what it is that they are providing. The more things that they're providing you at no cost, likely the deeper the split is going to be. So you want to take that into consideration. And if you're looking at a brokerage that is offering a lot of things in exchange for a deeper cut in the split, you want to make sure that you're actually looking at those things and asking yourself, will this help me? And I know that it's very difficult to think about that when you're brand new and you don't actually know what you need, right? This is going to evolve as you progress in your real estate career. But you want to make sure that you're at least looking at the list of things that they're offering, which we'll talk about in a moment. Now, number 3 was the hybrid model. And so this is going to be one that most people wind up going with in the long term, right? So if you actually do have success in this industry, I hope that you do, right? But if you find success in this industry and you're able to keep your pipeline filled, which I want to help you with, you want to have the hybrid model, right? Where you're getting to keep more of your money, but at the same time, you're getting the support that you need. And these types of brokerages do exist. Now, in this video, I'm not gonna name names. I'm not telling you what brokerage to join, but I am going to give you this piece of advice. Shop around. Don't just go for the first one. Don't just pop into a Facebook group and tell people, hey, I'm looking for the best brokerage to join. Where should I go? Or like, what does everyone recommend? Because you're probably going to get bombarded with tons of private messages from people who are going to try to recruit you. So be very careful with that. This should really be a deep research type of thing. You could always ask ChatGPT to do a comparison model, but if you're going with more local brokerages, you could also just have those conversations, go and visit, right? And be very wary of anyone who is dangling listings in front of your face in exchange for you joining, or bonuses and things like that, right? If something sounds too good to be true, it probably is, especially in this industry. I cannot stress that enough. All right, let's dive into some key questions that you want to make sure that you ask them. So I want to make this video not super long because I know that you have to go spend time prospecting and getting more clients. So I'm going to put those questions inside of the description of this video. They are 5 really important questions that you should ask, right? The bare minimum that you should be asking of anyone that you're going to be interviewing, right? Whether or not you are going to join their brokerage. Now, let's talk about choosing based on your learning style and your goals. Right? So if you're a brand new agent, you're going to set goals, right? Likely you're going to walk through a business plan, hopefully. If you don't have a business plan, go to the description of this video. I have a link there for you that will help you out, so you can get one. But you're going to go through a business plan. You're going to come up with goals, right? And so you want to make sure that the brokerage that you're joining aligns with these goals, that they're actually able to help you achieve these, right? If you're a brand new agent, some of the goals that you set, even if it's a modest goal, right? Even if you only want to achieve 40 grand for your first year, right? Most brand new agents don't even set that number. They set a higher number, which is totally okay. But even if you set a modest goal, right? You just want a supplemental income, or you just want to bring some extra financial value to your family, you still have to have a plan. You still need support to do that, especially if you're just starting out and the only knowledge and experience you have is the salesperson exam, right? Or the broker exam, depending what state you're in. So you want to make sure that you are making this decision with your learning style, right? If you are someone who prefers online learning, there are brokerages that focus on that. If you are someone who needs actual like in-person hand holding, like you want to shadow someone, you want to be tied to the hip, right? When I first got started in real estate, I had the privilege and luxury to be tied to Alex's hip, who is now my husband, but at the time he was just my boyfriend. And I was tied to his hip, and I learned so much shadowing him, being at every appointment, every open house, every listing, all of it. And it's a fantastic way to learn, right? But I also can learn online, right? So we wound up transitioning to different brokerage down the line. Story for a different day. But I want you to make sure that you are honoring what your learning style is, what branding style you might want to gravitate towards, and look for a brokerage that meets that, right? So if you're a brand new agent and you're just getting started and you want to just dive in and learn more, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's a wealth of knowledge on here and on our website at designforagents.com. We're here to help. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. We would love to just provide you with advice and have you join our community of over 24,000 agents who just really want to help each other. We all want to succeed. There's enough room for everybody in this industry. So I will see you in the next video. As always, I'm wishing you tons of happy new clients, a whole lot of accepted offers, and so many closings.